LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This is the final level of the Rise of Skywalker, and will of course finish the 9th movie of this LEGO game. Then we can move on to the prequels, and hopefully I can get those done somewhat quickly so we can be done and move on with with LEGO Star Wars, because this is a cool game, but I think I've taken too long to get these videos out, and I do want to move on. So this is, of course, going to be the part where we have to go fight Palpatine and all of his other enemies and baddies that surround him. So there's a lot that goes on, and the later, like, I don't know, 2/3 of the video are just entirely fighting the guy. So I think if we went by, like, sheer level length alone, this one could be the longest, but it's not longer than the previous one. And then I also think there's going to be quite a bit of walking. So actually, you know what, never mind. This might actually be the longest one, because we do have to go back to Luke's island, which is where we're at now. And yeah, there is going to be quite a bit of walking here. I forgot that I sped up. I think I sped up like one part? Yeah, one part coming up. I don't know how much I sped it up, and I probably should have sped up all of this, because I'm sure he is talking to me yet again, and I'm really just trying to sprint as fast as I can to get through here. As we can see, Rey is really pushing it right there. And once we get down to the hut, I think we have to actually get Luke's milk bottle for him, which is... Or was that in the previous video? I don't really remember if we actually... I think we had to do that in a previous video. What are we getting for him here then? So anyway, now I sped this part up because this took forever. It's literally just all walking. And we have to wait for him to catch up to us so we can walk to the other side of the island. And, oh my goodness, this takes forever. I think this is sped up by like 400% and it's still taking this long. Alright, so we had to... Was that getting the lightsaber back? I thought we already had that. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And we'll just keep walking through the island. I almost was in disbelief when I played this part. I almost couldn't believe that they actually made us do this. Like, you call this gameplay. I don't know what this is. This is really absurd to me. And then we can pull an X-Wing out of the ocean, and now we can fly to Palpatine. So we'll jump on into the X-Wing. Now that we finished the most boring part of the level by far, and then we're going to wind up back in the Rebel base planet. So is this must be on a different world. It kind of looks, yeah, it must be, because the island isn't tropical. It's got grass and it's in the middle of the ocean, and this one's all tropical and it's not in the middle of the ocean. Anyway, we'll grab Finn, head on out to the map to go to Exegol, and that should finally take us to the last area, but we're gonna have to fly through space a little bit first, and I think Be With Me is the name of the level, so that is the place we need to go. So once we just zoom there as fast as we can go, I think there might be a different way of getting past these space sections other than the way I'm doing it, but this also works. And then we can start the level and skip a bunch of cutscenes, and now we have to fight the Knights of Ren, who I think did not get the screen time that they deserved, because they kind of showed them off in the first movie, and never really did anything with them again until the ending of this movie, where they reminded us, hey guys, you know, we had these at first. Do you remember? Please remember us. And they're strangely misleading because they have one health bar, so very similar to the Praetorian guards that we fought in the previous movie. And as you defeat one, then they lose a shield. So it kind of looks like they have like 6 or 7 health bars, but they all share one, and then of course each of them has their own individual health bar. So I don't know, I think for these fights they'd have been just fine removing the boss health bar entirely. And just letting us fight them individually would have been just as cool too. And once we defeat a few of them, little Muppet Palpatine up there is going to get kind of angry and start zapping us. And of course we're going to switch on over to Kylo Ren. So Rey is going to be fighting, I guess, the sovereign protectors of Palpatine, and Kylo Ren has to defeat his own knights, because that's just how betrayal works sometimes. And we'll take that one out pretty quick, because Kylo does have some cooler moves than some of the other Jedis that you get to play as in this game. And I think just because he attacks so dang fast, that ends up with him doing more damage a lot of the times. But some of these enemies, you know, he's got a sliver of health right now. He does not want to die. I think we have to wait on him to attack me, which is what I'm trying to get him to do there. There we go. I think I had to walk him away from the edge. I don't think he, like, had room to actually attack me there, because I don't know what else would have stopped him. And once we defeat 2 of them, we're gonna switch on over to Rey, and she'll get zapped for a second, because that's what happens in cutscenes in LEGO games, and then we can start wailing away on the Sovereign Protector again. And I still kind of wished that they were a little bit more diverse with some of the fights that they give you, because, you know, these do look cool. You know, these are cool scenes in the movies, and they could have given the Sovereign and the Protectors and the Knights their own unique moves, but instead they all do the exact same moves as every other melee LEGO character. So, I mean, it's not like it. I'm not difficult to make happy when it comes to making stuff different in a video game. I'd have been happy with just a different sized circle, like AoE thing on the ground, a different sized whatever the heck it is, you know, like, if that was a different size, I'd have been happy. Okay, if it was a different shape, I'd have been happy. If he attacked slightly faster, whatever it was, just make him feel different, okay? It doesn't take much, that's all I'm saying. Especially, it is a LEGO game, my expectations aren't super high. But I would love for them to be able to be higher, if that makes sense at all. Okay, yes, I'm stalling this fight again, because obviously I can't stop talking, as I've explained a million times before. Okay, once we get through this guy, I don't know who the last enemy is going to be. Actually, that might be the last one, but there's another shield. So who else do I have to fight? He might be the last one. Yeah, no, he's going to be the last one. And once that's done, it looks like Rey defeated her enemy. There's going to be a cutscene, and then we switch to Finn on top of one of the Star Destroyers. So I think here is where we're actually going to have to destroy, like, the communications relay or something like that. And I don't know why Palpatine would have an army this big, and he only has one of these satellites, or whatever it is we're blowing up. There's only one ship with it. Maybe I forgot exactly what we're doing, but it kind of feels like with that many Star Destroyers, that you would have a heck of a lot more, and it would be pretty much impossible to win this battle in real life. But hey, what do I know about Star Wars? So there's going to be some red troopers. I guess those are Sith troopers, which is actually kind of cool. And I don't know, they're just red. That's why they're cool. And we're actually going to get a boss fight with Finn that I don't really remember very much being super, like, noteworthy in the movie. I've only seen this movie twice, so maybe I just completely forgot it. But anyway, we'll get there in a second. So this guy he's got a jetpack, but he just doesn't want to die. I don't know why the heck he took so many hits before he finally died there. So I don't know if that was a glitch. Whatever it was, once we defeat enough of the Sith troopers, one of the Sith ships is gonna fall down from the sky and land on the ship here, so that we can pull the wing open or over, and now we can get across the gap. And our strange horsies, who probably aren't too happy to be here, are also going to be able to be rideable for a little bit, although this place isn't really super long, so I don't really know what good it did us. And then an X-Wing is going to fall down in front of us, giving us an absolute truckload of studs. Then we'll get bucked off the horse, and we have to fight some more Sith troopers.
You're right. Shutting down the power should make it safe to pass.
And there's going to be a couple of snipers that are above us, and we'll just try to take them out. No big deal. And then, looks like that one's actually a female trooper. I guess that makes sense. I don't know, I just always expect the Sith troopers, or any of the clone troopers, to all be male, so it always kind of surprises me when I knock their helmet off and they're female. So, I guess makes sense though, because these ones aren't the clones, right? I think I mentioned that before. Anyway, we'll use the terminal with the droid and solve that puzzle for the 5 billionth time, and we're gonna have to do it 100 times more before the game is over. That's gonna send this gun into haywire form and clear a path for us.
Boy, we finally get to do something.
It worked!
Okay, with the electricity gone, we can jump on down here, and we get to battle Monty Mole from Super Mario Sunshine. I'm kidding, it's BB9E. He just reminds me of some of the Monty Mole fights from Super Mario, where he's like sitting in a tank and he shoots stuff at you. This guy is also sitting in a tank type of thing and shooting rockets at us. So this is BB Boss, which is actually a really good name. Good job on that. And there's going to be kind of those like vents that are opening up on the left and right, and we need to shoot those to take out his health. But we can't do that while the vents aren't open, so once one of the vents opens up, we can make like Master Chief and then blow them up with our gun, or a grenade, or if we had a rocket, if we were doing this in free play, then we could use a rocket. And once that's done, we can just dodge the bullets until they open up again, And we're just going to repeat that 4 times. As you hide behind the cover here, BB Boss's bullets are going to blow up the cover, but there's a lot, and you can rebuild it, so not really a big deal. Or you can just, you know, be a real LEGO player and just take every single last hit, because by this point you probably should have upgraded your health bar quite a bit, and you should have more than a few health bars to work with. Although mine was running a little bit low, so I guess I'll just try to avoid some of his hits now. And there we go, we can finally blow that up. And once this is done, do we go straight back to the final boss, or do we have to do anything here? It looks like we're gonna have to build something there. Yes, okay, I forgot this part. And that's going to do what exactly? I actually don't know what this does. We pull open the thing in the back and then, okay, yeah, we're gonna need to do the circle puzzle. Fine, fine. And what are we even doing on this place? Are we taking out like a communications relay, or are we, I guess that's what we're doing? Like a warp, something like that. Okay, whatever it is. That will activate the drill, and that looks like that's gonna make a circle around this part. I think I was probably not paying attention at all to the game at this point, so it's just another one of those things that I don't remember very well. But anyway, we can grab onto the laser and move it in a circle, and then we can wait for that to pop open, and then we can jump on down, and then there's like a cutscene, and now we skip to Emperor Palpatine. So this is the final boss, I guess, technically of the game, if you decided to do it in prequel, original, and then this trilogy order. But either way, we're just going to walk straight into Palpatine, mash the buttons that come on screen. Palpatine, of course, was stronger than us, but he did not take into consideration that I now have 2 lightsabers, and that fatal mistake is going to be his final downfall. And once we finish mashing all the buttons that show up on screen, that'll be it for the level.